What's the Nekudas? The Nekudas Advarim is that it brings what it says in Ayin Beis, basically, that there's Demach Seira Sheyachsarlim, but that's when they get to be Mamshach L'Kus and Eilim, when Sfiras HaMalchus. There's one Eichen of Ashpa, that you're Memalid et Tzorech, that alone there's a couple of dargis that basically there is Tzrachim Tsisin, and then there is Al Derech Sus Lirkevelov. Means even in Yana Mizmet, there's Keches Primim, and then there's Chetzein Esakeser. There is the Indian of Blig Vol, which is higher than Eilim, but it relates to Eilim somehow. We can think that's Ayin. Keser is one of the Hepart Sufim that are also considered a Chisar in the Malchus. Not only the Keser. Okay, we discussed it. Rakalpanim, so that's, and basically, Til Chitzein Esakeser, which is Pchinas Ardech, that was Mamer, Bisman HaMishkan. And then there is Ashiras, which is Atik, which is Eidin Sof, which has no Shaychas to Eilim, beyond Eilim, which that was Mamer, Bisman Shleim HaMelech. And then there's Chesed, which the Rebbe is going to speak about, that's going to be L'Asad Lavi, and that's Chassidus. So now the Rebbe is being Mavayir, basically, based on the Mamer Naim Beis, that this is a Kabbalah, that the Oren is this man where then was Meir Chitzein Esakeser, Pchinas Arich, Mashiach Bisman Shleimat Meir given Pchinas Atik, Primi Esakeser. But how does that, what does that mean, these dargis? And the Iko that was explaining over here is how the fact that the air that was Meir at Chareis Gedrikt, it expressed itself in the Eif in the way there was the Birra Nitzutzis. That's the Nekudas Advarim that was being Mavayir. So there is one type of Birra Nitzutzis, which is Mitzat Keches Primi, which that the Rebbe doesn't discuss in this Mamer B'chlal. There is which that nishving in the Netzach. That's the bitter of the bittul amenagid through being pashat leichem with the menagid. You say you have the derech, you have the Megillat Avedis Hashem, you have the nefesh alikis, which has seichel amidis. L'idach you have zelu mazasal likim. The Rebbe Shamas also has midis, and the nefesh alikis comes and says that al pi seichel v'asaga. The Eibishter is the amitis amtzius. And the Rebbe Hamas says the opposite. It has its own seichel v'asaga, and it says that the purpose of life is for the sake of a person enjoying himself. And there's a battle. There's Zaktazeh, and the Nefesh Elokis. In order for him to be Mizgaber, he has to mevatel the tightness of the Nefesh Elokis, and to persuade as to be mevatel the Menagid. So that's called a bitter through primis. You deal with the Mekabel, you deal with the Meneged Aved and Vel, you deal with the Elam Hazim. Mitzad Atzma, you could have a whole different system of the way they relate to the way the world has to be, and what's the purpose of life. And in order to cancel that, mevatel the Menagid, and to repel that Volche Bekeli Telekos, you have to deal with it. The Mishkan of the Midbar, the Arnak, the Vigven, the Birra Nitzutzis, Moshe Rabbeinu took the Aron into the Midbar. Kuma Hashem, there was a Zgalas Elokos, via Futzeivach. And the Pchtenius means that the Eive Yisrael, the Menagdim didn't fight. By bringing the Aron in the Midbar, the Malachi Knan heard about what's going on, and no Megel Koyesh Viknan. But the Pelam Primis Einyanim, the fact that Bechitzenius, the Amim weren't fighting, that's an Ivea from the Aveda Birra Nitzutzis, of Bittel HaMenagid. Bittel of Yesh, Bittel of a Mitzvah, which is Stirat Elikus. And what Eifon was Moshe Rabbeinu Vatal the Stirat? He was leichim with them. He had a whole back and forth, battled with the Klippus, or he brought the Aron into the Midbar, and b'meila they were in his battle. Yifutzei vecha v'nusum sanecha. But that's called in the Mamer 9 base. That's called Mulcham. So that there's two shlagim. So the first thing the Rebbe says, the etzem fact that Moshe Rabbeinu, that the Aron, that means Kedusha, the Eira Kedusha had to be Meir in the Midbar. I just wanted to say a word before. So the fact, this type of bitter of not having to have a battle, that's Mitzad Eira Blikvo, that's Mitzad Keser. If the Eira Kedusha was of Meir given, would be Mitzad Keches Primi, Mitzad Chabad, Mitzad Seder Shlalshalos. So Mitzad Seder Shlalshalos, Kaviyachol, Mitzvah Elam also is equal, so to speak. The same way there's Seichel Eliki, there's Seichel and Elam Hazir. So because you hold one way, I'm forced to accept what you're saying, there's a fight. Du hast der Seichel anders. That's a regular Muhammad. There's a Tutzdaden. Each side has their milas, and in order for one to win, you can't just win while you have to. There's a battle. When is a shaykh to say that you have the Mashal the Gashmis and the Rebbe's the Dugma and Gashmis? You have a Zam mighty Melech. You have Tutzdaden, and the minute one side, let's say there's a Menagid. Each one wants the Vil Einem and the But the minute one side shows this has weapons and he has bombs and this and that. The other ones are coming with a couple of sticks, so they're not going to begin to war. They're not going to start fighting before. If you have one side that's shalei be'erach stronger than the other side, then the minute the one side sees the mightiness and the starket of the other side, the chatchilim won't be like. When is there a battle of not taking zechleichem zayin and to be machtlish the other one if they're be'erach zelazah? But if one side shalei be'erach, so then there's a But the Rebbe said, but by the Arin, that's only mitzad keser. Shas Meir the Eira Blig Vol Lukus, the Lukus is higher than Ishtalshal, is higher than Vel. Mitzad the Lukus have Blig Vol, Vel doesn't battle. Mitzad, if Mitzad Seder Ishtalshal, so the Eibush had eingestellt the Seder Rabbi in a way that there's Kedusha and there's Klippe. So you can't say that Tzad Gilei Akdusha Welt will become Eis automatically. Even with Tzad Gilei Akdusha, Welt has an Asmakim, Welt has a Chshivas. Welt has we're Kaviyachol equal to Elokus. The Mele there's a battle. Mash'ink in Zman Meish Rabbi, Ratzach Meir Given Chitzeni Yisa Keser, which is B'cholos Keser is the fact that the Eibush is higher than Elam is. The fact that the Eibush is Blik Vol, that's Mer Be'efam Makiv. What happens then? Then the Nivra is Mizbatal. Then the Consistency is Mizbatal. But the Rebbe says that wasn't the ultimate. That's called Bira B'derech Muhammad the Mamer. So the Rebbe says two shlavim. Why is it Bira B'derech Muhammad? The first thing the Rebbe says is the very fact, they say in the Mashal, that the Melech he can't stay in his Iram Lucha, and B'meila no one fights him. There is a Tzad Menagid. There's a Medina that wants to fight him, and he has to go out of his Dal Adamis, and he has to show them his strength. If he's not going to go out of his Dal Adamis and show them his strength, then they're Menagid. In order to be about the Menagid, he has to go there and he has to show his good Dula. That's Muhammad. Muhammad, in the sense, he can't stay in his Dal Adamis. He can't stay with Menucha. He has to go deal with the Menagid. But even how he deals with the Menagid is not in a way of fighting it, he just shows him his greatness. That's the Inzach. So the Rebbe speaks, what's the Pshat here? So the first word the Rebbe says is, I'm not going through the Behemoth case. What's the Rebbe is bringing? The Eshtes, you learned it? So I don't want to go through all the problem. The Kudah the Rebbe says is, you say in Pashas Hadvarim, the fact that the Melech is Yedid to the Magma Menagid, in order to be Leich, in order to be Mevatalim, that shows that the Menagid has its Tfisas Magma Menagid. How does it work Pashas in the Mashal? I was saying this last time. The very fact that once that the Melech, Azay, you say, saying in Pashas Hadvarim, there is, if someone's whole Keshet Holocaust is the fact that he understands Gdula Sabayra. He has Rayis, let's say, as Fran Getlachkeit, whatever it is. And then he hears that there's someone that Rabbi Seichel says Fakert. That's a Menagid. That's going to be Machlishin. That's a Stilitin. So you want to go cancel that Menagid? Upfreg in the Sfara. Even if someone, by him like the Neshama, that the Neshama is by him is Meir Erdin, he has a Mun in the Ebershter. His Keshet Holocaust is not based because Rabbi Seichel, he came to Maskana as Fran Getlachkeit. Zayin Neshama like, and he has a Mun in the Ebershter. Someone's going to say that he has a Svara Fakert. It's going to be Menagid thing. His kesher is not based on seichel. His kesher is based on emunah. So image who comes to give him a kasher, he's not going to be bothered. It's not going to be machlishim. It's not a menagid thing because there's no tfisas makom. So you have one melech at the first thing last. You have a dugma. You have a melech God levaram and a few batlonim in the chveis in the mikveh zogen that he doesn't know what he's doing. That he's a geilam and he's not a good melech. let's overthrow him. It's not going to be tefis makom by b'chal. It's not even. They're not even mitzias that he has to deal with b'chal. His melucha is not affected by a few batlanim. So here, the fact that the melech is that Moshe Rabbeinu took the Mishkan, went into the midbar to mevatel klippus. So the Retzach has a dargin elokus where klippus have kaviyachol tfisas makim. That the fact that there's that velt is not a keli telokus. Kaviyachol is takes away the tkifus, takes away the takif. So that's emes tfisas makim. So that's chitzeni sekes. That's one thing. And Mamele, since we're dealing with a dargin elokus, not verstehen what's the hezbollah. But since we're dealing with a dargin elokus, that the fact that an elam herzach nish dememes is a stirit to him means it's kaviyachol tefes makamim to the extent that it's negeya for in order for the shleimus hablik vol is that his battle then in such a eifin even laachri habirur the tacht is on his battle again the menigah is on his battle. There is not a very pashta cheshbon because why was the tacht in his battle? He didn't fight it because it was Meir the Gilei Elim which is blik vol but in the tacht was his battle. So the Tachton was misbatim mitzad the Gilei Elim, but was he attacking his battle? Since mitzad the Madregas the Elim, the Tachton has to the smoking. So even after the bittul, first of all, he's not it's a bleibt together from Welt, and mitzad the Mitzias Elam, there is still an option to be menagid. The Podoh, the Tachton can't. He was in his battle mitzad the blikvul, but the bittul is only a technical bittul, so to speak. You heard the meaning. I mentioned this last time. This mashal, just I'm the Chassidus mashal says it's kama pratim. I don't want to much ingeret. I want to say Ibrahim had the prat, but you see mashal. I'm saying Emunah and Seichel, but let's say the Rebbe brings also like Emunah and Seichel, but let's say the Gabi Ratzon and Seichel. As they state in Chassidus that Ratzon mitzad atzmei does not have to. Ratzon comes from a place in the nefesh which is not mugbal by the regular kolam of Seichel. A person could be nimshach to something even it doesn't make sense to want it, and it's not even chveis mitzad seichel doesn't make sense, mitzad midas doesn't make sense, but a person is nefesh is nimshach. So we're saying you can say is stam shigas. But mitzat pshitas hanefesh, mitzat pnimi, the etzem hanefesh is not limited to the gdarim of seichel. He's not a being which is eizgemas according to the way things have to be up seichel. The nefesh is a mehus mufshetes v'nei atzma, and it's nimshach not based on seichel. That's where Ratzin is a take a bleak full. Because the dargas and nefesh which is nimshach in Ratzin is not a darga mugbalis. It's the nefesh itself, the eye of the person which is not based on seichel v'asada, which is mufshet from these gedarim. He himself is nimshach to something. That's where Ratzin is there stark as that. The poil steht in Chassidus as that's Fran as Ratzin, where there is a type of Ratzin where since Ratzin itself is mushish and pshitas and nefesh, the man that's not a get. Ratzin doesn't begin with seichel. There's certain things that you want because after seichel he came to the conclusion that these things are good things to have. That's a Ratzin apitam. That's not the Shumos of Ratzin. Shumos of Ratzin is that a person wants this thing. That what initiates the Meshicha is because his nefesh is nimshach. It's a pshitas and nefesh. So since Ratzin is mushish and pshitas and nefesh, he's not mischashiv even if it doesn't make sense to want it. But he's not mischashiv with seichel amidas. There's a strong, let's say, a strong passion, and the fact that there's kashas up seichel is not going to be machlish. Person is based on a svara. Let's say I decided to want it because I came to the conclusion that it makes sense. So if I have a kasha on it, my Mashiach is going to become weaker. Because the whole interest in it was based in seichel. But if a person is nimshach, if there's this erer or ratzin to something, that means the fact that the nefesh is nimshach to a certain level. And then it doesn't make sense to want it. It's not going to be mafresh the ratzin. The take for ratzin is not going to become weaker because there's a kasha on seichel for this ratzin. Doesn't begin with seichel. And the mele, it's a passion which is neveim, it's a pshitas and nefesh. And the seichel won't be mad of a master, won't be menaged. That's the ein. But that's zweiter if in this Veran, there steht noch Chassidus as that b'shas a person wants something, even though the yisayt haratzin hebs verstand von seichel. But the poil, the teva, the param is when a person has a meshichas nefesh to something, he starts finding also kol minei atzdakas in seichel to be master his ratzin. If there's a kasha on the ratzin, he'll try to find it. The ratzin is poil on the seichel v'tam to be mitzi to legitimize the ratzin. So what's the pshat? What's takadeh? So the vart is this darga in Ratzin is a even though Ratzin itself is not seichel, Ratzin itself is based on the pshitas and nefesh. But where is the Ratzin meir? The Ratzin is meir in a person where by this person seichel means something. Seichel is not garnish. Since the Ratzin is payil, it's the way the ha'aris hanefesh is meir in the mitzias ha'adam where their seichel is a mitzias. So the person is not comfortable with the fact that his Ratzin is a spirit to seichel. Even though the Ratzin itself doesn't begin with seichel, it begins with pshitas and nefesh. But since it's the mishichas and nefesh, the way it's made in a person, which by him seichel is a factor, so in Mele it bothers him that seichel doesn't agree with his Ratzin. The Mele, but there's zuchin time and sibis to mak design to be. What I'm saying is, if you have something which is based in seichel, ad hasta kashe, it's mevatel the Indian. There's a stira to the Indian. That's the Indian is in danger. Is at risk. Ratzin is not. Ratzin be'etzem hat sich nicht angegeben von seichel. The Ratzin is because the nefesh is nimshach. But since it's the Meshichas Nefesh, the way it's made in the Metzias Adam, we're in that realm of Metzias, Seichel is an Indian. So if the Seichel is a stira, it's there's a twisted makim to Seichel. Even though Ratzin itself is Pshitis, but Ratzin Kaviyachol is aware of the fact that his Indian is Pshitas and Nefesh, but there's also another category of being, which is Seichel. And the fact that there's a category of being which also has value, that's not behes into the Ratzin, that's machlish to take it for Ratzin. So that's what the Rebbe is saying here. There's what the Rebbe is speaking about till now is that was for a darge mitzad keres pnimiyim is a biru b'derech mocham. Mitzad keser, which is the area of a bligvo, mitzad keser, the ratzin. So then it's mitzad bligvo. So mitzad was kabiyachol is the Rebbe there. Is mitzad was is my forbud with Nebish mitzad keser because the Nebish is because that's the emes, not mitzad seichel. It's nirgash the Nebish is the emes and he's in self and he's bligvo and that's the mitzad samtzis, not based on seichel. So why is it that Moshe Rabbeinu mind, so to speak, that there's menagdim in the midbar which are stiritalikus? I have to bring the Aaron to go fight those menagdim. Because the poil, even though mitzad bligvo is meer der emes, but the poil, where is this? It's in Kesser itself, it's meer in Welt. We're in Welt, gvul is a mitzis, and seichel is a mitzis, and mitzad gedera eilam, there is a menagid. So even though the menagid is not, it's not a stirit to the era bligvo, but legabi the era bligvo, gvul is a mitzis. You say the simple, the era bligvo, the way it's made in Welt. The Rebbe says before, Kesser is makif, it's prat makif. It's the way it's made in Elam is that there's a diagonal kutz which is higher than Elam is. The era bligvo is made in Welt. So legabi this darga, there is a mitzvah of a Welt. He's not gvul, he's bligvo. Not like chachma v'chesed, where they themselves are a gilei l'kus in a tzir of gvul. Keser is bligvul, but it's the era bligvul the way it's meir within the context of a world. And since, so legabe that darge, Welt is a Metzias, Welt is an Inyan. He's beyond that. He's beyond Gvul. Vasudam Metzias from Gvul. So, and the fact that Gvul, in Mitzad Gedra Gvul, there's a Nigut Holocaust, so there's a place, there's a valuable space where there the emes is not made, which is not Batul Holocaust. So that's a chisaron, so to speak, in the Tegef Ablikvul of the Elgin. So since Eretz like a hecher, but the Pearl Yana Metzias and Metzias. So even the Rebbe says even after the Blikvul is made, and B'shas the the Blikvul the Tachten is misbatel, but he's misbatel not because he came to the conclusion that Nigud, not because Welt kenish menagid. Mitzad Gedra Eilam, the stillness is longer for Nigud. Mitzad Gvul Zelu Mazal Salakim. Because Eretz Blikvul is made, say you have someone that mitzad his seichel he can understand the tzaddik klippah. L'poyel he's overtaken with the munah, let's say. But even if he's overtaken with the munah, and therefore the svares that he has is not machlish the munah, the peil seichel nish gemarkin keli tzalakus. The peil there's no manik. B'shas eira blikvul is meir in Welt, and it's meir makamar enim in amida. The mitzvara which Welt has is not menagit. It's his battle. It's not only the svara is in his battle. You don't have to take away the svara. The svara is not a stira to that. That's a meir eira blikvul. It's a meir devish hecher from gvul. Hastakasha is not going to be. That doesn't create a nigud. Because the Lakus is based on a whole different gather of Metzias. But Le'idach, since the gather of Gvul is Tefes Makam Legabe de Blikvul, and Mitzad the gather of Gvul itself, it's not mufrech to be Menagid to Lakus. So Behelim is geblieben a Menagid. Le'payel, everything's going to agree with the Lakus because the Eira Blikvul is made everywhere. But B'amiti Sayyananim, the Metzias Ha'elam is a Metzias which yesh b'chshivas. And Mitzad the gather Ha'elam, Mitzad gather of Gvul, there is still an Asinas Makam Menagid. Say a simple case. Let's say you have a darga of Ratzin, which the guy with Ratzin, the way Ratzin is made in the Metzias Adam, where the guy with that darga seichel mitzvah is the Metzias, but the peil in seichel has sich nicht abgelegt that this in Ratzin is correct. But the mehr as ich stark to take it for Ratzin that it's nirgash that the Ratzin is based on shittas and nefesh and was in the gezer habshayles. I'm nimshach it. So the peil seichel won't be menagid if in seichel hertz to take it for Ratzin. But that's called that the helm is nishad the menagid. Because Seichel has a chshivas, and Mitzad Gedera Seichel is nicht abgefleckt Hebach. He can fight the Ratz. So Mel is nicht the hell of the Menagid. Shinkin Shlomo, we see Mashiach Bisman Shlomo Melech is not the pshat that the Shlomo Melech Retzach on a darga where the alien stays bim kaim. That means Shlomo Melech the vart is Meret. Let's say the way that I was saying in this shlab Meret v'genazam is darga which they got that darga. There's pshitas and nefesh. Like I said, the second darga. You have a king. And a little kid says that his mumlucha is not bizarre to say. It's not a nigud. I think it's not. His kipus is based on something else, and this tachten is not a metzias, which is mavavah. It's cool kamikalachshis. So there's bizman shlema melech. So the bitter was never from a darga in the lakus which be that darga. Eilam has not tfisas makim. So if Eilam has not tfisas makim, it's cool kamikalachshis. Was art mer damit said gedr Eilam there's a nigud. The whole Metzias Elam is Batal Kolachshiv. Because we're talking about a darga in the Lakus, which Legabi that darga, the Metzias Elam is not a different caliber, so to speak. It's not Nish Begedem Netzach. The Rebbe says in Tanya, you have a svara, let's say, and then you have a svara amuka, but Mishush is a stila to the svara. It's not shy to say that. Mishush is not a Metzias in Seichel. Has no value in Seichel. So now you have one eifin that the Menagid, you have one eifin the Menagid is a stira to the Gufa Inyan. Yeah, but even the Menagid is not a stira to the Gufa Inyan. But the pilot ends up being that there's a makim which is also a certain category of Metzias, which there, my Inyan is not Nimshah. That's the darga of Meishav. And then there is, Legabi the Elyon, the Tachten is not a Metzias L'chatchila. It's Kula Kamikalachshiv. If Kula Kamikalachshiv, so then, he doesn't bother to go there B'chlal. And it's at that darga, Welt doesn't bother L'chatchila, Kula Kamikalachshiv. So Bisman Shlema, they say B'Parshas Advarim, Bisman Shlema, there was such a tkifus in Malchus Shlema that it wasn't possible to fight him. Why wasn't it possible to fight him? Yeah, they say Al Derech, going to say that a little kid is not going to think of fighting the Melech God of Aram. It's not begeder Melech Atchila that he should have such a hafamim. Al Derech Zeh Vibal that Mitzat Melech Atmerik Ben Azad Darge in Velt. Which the Gabi this Darge Kula Kamikolachshiv. Legabi his Malchus Welt is not Tfisas Makim. And thus it Mary given that nothing has Tfisas Makim. There's only Malchus of Lakus. Besides the Malchus of Lakus, there's no other Mitzvahs. B'shegem is man Moshe when nish das gewend der Sach, that there's nothing besides Malchus Holocaust. That Malchus Holocaust is so strong that if you can have a thought to fight it, you'll be in his battle. The Kaviyachol could be a half a minute, so to speak. But Lepoil, the dark is bleak full, so you'll be in his battle. But not that there's no space for a half a minute. That's why closely business there. The Rebbe want to all bring out that Shlomo Melech is a shirus, that in order to have the biru b'derech menucha, darf man dafka onkommen to the Eid in Sof, which is l'mayla mishaychas l'ishlashlos, l'chinas atik. That's why the Rebbe goes through as this v'eme case. Because the truth is that even inside the darg of Keser, even inside the darg of Ratzin, there is a darg of Keser which you have this type of Indian where the tachton is not to be smoking. So if the whole beer was, if the Tzis Smokim is man Moshe Rabbeinu was, the fact that the tachton is negeya, and therefore we went to be leichem against him, and then b'shet the Tzis Smokim. So to be shevel that type of Tzis Smokim, that is onkum tzaatik. That's Ardech Kameshu Bim Kreme already has that mind. I was saying before the Mashal. The way the Ratzin is b'mehusay, before it was nimshach to the person, where there's a category of esesfiris. The way Keser is benefesh, there's no tnu of seichel amidus. And it's at that darge, if there will be a stir in seichel, taka won't be tevis makam. Medafish onkom to the din of atik, which is in such a man mishachas the shlashos legam. Elam shemea davar hazeh. So again, bis weiter, ja? Der Elam weiß das, Lass uns dann weiter. Shlomo bei Imikeser. The Gam Kshab Biru Beif Shamavar Bim Kaim. You have such a eif where the Mavar attack has been Kaim. Why is Mavar Bim Kaim? Mashmos is because there was not just saying a technical thing. Mavar has been Kaim, but I say the Pashto Lashon. Shlomo Gam Kshab Biru Beif Shamavar Bim Kaim. El Shuba Darga Kazush Mizvar Yesh Litzis Smakim Legabei. So what does it mean? The same thing? The same thing as before, just the menaged is lazy. The one side is lazy. What's the main thing? You see what I'm saying? So this Bavar Bim Kaim is a technical thing, or that shows that he's in a darga that lowering himself down to be leichem against the menaged is beyond, is not, why takes Bim Kaim? Was nicht tevis mokim by him to the extent of so what's me the Rebbe to sagen? Means you have a zasser. Why is it not? Why is it? What did I say before? That Kshabir Beben Sha'alin Bolim Kaimei Harezi Michia Shatachn Tivis Makim Legabe. Mashing if the alien is not Bolim Kaimei, blight by Zich. So he doesn't bother to be about the Managid. What does that show? That the Tachton is not Tivis Makim. Das weiß ich. If the Tachton is Tivis Makim, better gain. So he's going to go and fight. Means we're dealing with an alien which the Tachton is not Tivis Makim, and therefore. You say we're dealing with the shasemer, the tekef emunah, and legabi, and the emunah is not nefesh. A mensch hat a kasha. You have a kasha on the Eibishter. So what? The Eibishter is beyond like both. So why should it bother? I don't even have to enter your kasha. I don't have to enter your kasha. It's b'chal not machtash dini. But afal bikein, it's still not a mitzvah b'derech menucha, because if it's a darge where the tachton has a tzitzis makim, so the Rebbe is saying a whole darge is the Indian. The Rebbe is saying there is a tfisa smokim where the fact that the tachton is menagid is choshuv by the elgin. It's tfisa smokim, and it's kaviyachol going to be great a certain chlishus in the take of elgin, in the spashtus elgin. Here, kulik mikalachshiv. It's not saying kulik mikalachshiv. But if the tachton has, the Rebbe is saying with the Rebbe doesn't say a taishem was bashtetis. Any bedakus achidak the muslim tfisa smokim. Even the way chitzeni sekeser is benefesh. Is there a concept of bull? There's a concept of bull. You say there's a munah. So the fact that he has a kasha, let's say. The question, I don't understand why the Eibishter this kasha is going to be machlish by me. My kash filakuz is not based on the fact that everything he does makes sense. So the fact doesn't make sense to be a kasha. But that's right. Even though the menagid is shalei be'er, even to the extent to be payalep sachdishus, but the menagid epis is it. Ezazah, and ish garnished. What Rebbe is saying in the dark of Shlomo Melech is that Meret Eresav Shema Meshachas Leishtal this. It's not the pshat. Meret Amit is saying stuff before the whole concept of Gvul came to be. Just to say the word Kulik Mikol is nachnish bitla menagid b'tach. Kulik Mikol means there is a concept of a tach. There's a concept of Gvul. The concept of Gvul is batla b'tach. But there's a concept of Gvul. In this prat, the Rebbe is not going into ice touching in was besteht is smoking. The word is the most any musig of is smoking. Then the bitter is not a bit of a tachlis. If the tachtin somewhat has epis vas and achizah from mitzias, then the bittel is not a bit of a tachlis. You get what I'm trying to say? You understand what I'm trying to say? Or
in what ways are the mitzias?
What I'm saying is they're saying the mitzias we're speaking about till now is mitzias from the can uptouchen. Here, then there's kulak mikalachshav. Kulak mikalachshav. Let's say legabi blik vul gvul is not a mitzias. Is there a concept of gvul? There's a concept of gvul, and blik vul legabi blik vul is garnished. He's garnished, but there's a concept of gvul. There is mitzat amitas erin sof. There is no concept of velt melchachelu. I'll bring you a dogma like this. There's takam bepratim in them, but I'll just bring you a dogma like this. What the Rebbe says, that the Rebbe says in Tanya, that if someone says in the Eibush Aleis Moshav Tfisibei, so the Rebbe said that it's ka'imra achachma rama v'amukah that you can't hold it in your hands. So the Rebbe says kol hashemei yitzchaklei. No one laughs. Why does no one laugh? But we had a nice but you say that one time the Bachar were building a sukkah, and one Bachar asked another Bachar, what's the shear of a mechitza? So Tzveiter had gesagt, terke de dibur. Everybody started laughing. He says, this is the dogma that the Rebbe is saying. So a joke is, let's say is one way of saying it. You say, Leison Shotvisebei. No one can understand the Eibush. That doesn't express his greatness. You see, this grace of God, a little kid in Kita Aleph can't understand this word. Nicht in them bringt Charez and grace. Some certain things you say, the reason why what you're saying doesn't mean anything, because it doesn't bring out the greatness of this person. He's far beyond that. Not that what you're saying is a joke. You're going there, you want to bring out his greatness. How do you bring out greatness? The low levels can't grasp it. But you're speaking about, but the low levels you're speaking about are not in the same caliber. So it's not, the other one said, then it's not a joke, but the Zogstazach, you're saying that no, even the little kids, even the Mitziyanim in pre-1A can't understand this Islam, this Amukah in the Gemara. You say, I'm saying but it's not Litzana. Litzana is if you say something that has no connection with God. Say, take the Dibur, say, what's the share of a Mechitza? Gaiva, take the Dibur. Sometimes I take the Dibur, it's too low to bring, it doesn't express the Indian. It's not on that line, B'chla. So someone says the Eibush are so great they can't understand them. Nish wegen dem Netzach. In Sof is not that type of musig of greatness. We think of the musig of Ligvol that is beyond limitation. We can't imagine the true, ultimate beyond limitation. We can't imagine what it means. We have no real musagim of what great limitation is. You're not, when you say that Seichel and Nivra doesn't understand him, you're not expressing his greatness. Where the Torah says you're not on the right track, B'chal. The whole musig of greatness that we know that he's beyond limitation, Nish B'gen Dem Netzach. Amita saying so. What it means true in itself, it's a different concept altogether, which you have no idea what it is, a whole different Indian. So there's a difference between saying that the first, let's say it's a musig of blik vol, where in was besteht the blik vol that it's beyond gvul. Gvul is a concept, and there's hecher from gvul, and there's dargis in this ein arich of the blik vol to gvul. So you'll get a dargis which the gabi the amitis of blik vol kula kamikalav. But then it's the previous atik is you're saying atik in such an almi shaykhs the shtalshalis as no shaykhs the shtalshalis before the concept of gvul came into being. What's the musig of Ein Sof? We have no idea what the musig of Ein Sof before the musig of Sof existed altogether. So that's the cheshuvah in them. There's no concept of it. Legabi keser, legabi chitzeni is a keser, which is a darga of bligvol that has some that is within the same. It's gedulas Hashem in the sense of bligvol. Mitzad that Indian, even however much you're going to speak about that flow of elokus, and legabi this darga gvul is not take a smoking. There is a concept of gvul. You can't say there is no such a reality. There is such a reality. Legabi him and has zero tefisas makam. They're saying ape seda azam esrotinian. However much you're going to say that legabi him is not tefisas makam at all. It's blik gvul. Saf kol saf seda. There is such a phase of being of gvul. And legabi this phase of being can be menagid saying. So the menagid wasn't his batal legamri. There is a whole different word. What's helps me that legabi him it's garnished? What I was saying before that's not bitla menagid. See legabi him it's garnished. Legabi the Chacham Gadol, the fact that little kids are laughing at him is not Tevis Makameh. Is there a concept? Because his Maimid, his Mahos, has no Shaykhas Chal, is not built in anything that this little, a couple of Litzanim are going to be Mafresh. That's all I say. But is there a concept of these people? He's beyond them, they're not even smakim. Is there these people exist in reality? They exist. And mitzad their gather, they don't necessarily agree with him. So there is a phase of reality that there's a space for a menagid. You can't say that there's no menagid exist. Could he say that there's nothing? Mitzad him, they're nisbatel. But legabe him, there is such a concept of being. Legabe him, they're not tevismakim. Versteht legabe him, they're not tevismakim. But even if we speak on his level, there is such a concept. And from their point of view, is not nisbatel geworden, the efsharis for them to be menagid. So kumto is that there wasn't a bitla menagid legabe. That's a chiddush. That's the Sibbe'emi case. In Pashtus, you're going to say, Apes and Meir, Erin, Safa, Bligvol, and the Gvul is not tevismakim, so there's no Ivecha Mesanecha. There's no Ivecha Mesanecha. Because mitzad this you say, B'shas the Herzach, the godless of this Chacham Gadol, so these little kids laughing, it ceases to exist. It's a garnish. The guy with this godless, this Messias is garnished. So if you have futzo, Ivecha, so you have futzo, it's nishta. Mitzad this in. And then nicht does it. If we're dealing with the mitzad chitzei nesakes, which is a musig of Ein Sof, which has some shaykhs to welt, that means in was besteht Ein Sof, the fact that he's beyond gvul, so there's the concept of gvul, and he's beyond gvul. However much you can say beyond gvul, there is still this form of reality. And b'meile, you can't say the menagid is nishtok. You can't say there is no menagid. So the Rebbe doesn't, like the Rebbe is just saying as avart. Even if you're going to find the bitter in a way that the tachton is not tevismakim, but ipsazam is third darge, where there's episode tevismakim to the mizbar. On uptight of was bashtet. Any way you're going to say it tevismakim in the most darkest dekayif. So the bittel is not a bittel b'tachlis. Was the uftu for Shlomo Melech? That before there was a concept of a welt. This is not mamish. I'm saying the Rebbe doesn't speak about it in the language of different musagim and Ein Sof and explain the Indian. I have other places next to this. Different dargers in Ein Arech. How mitzat keser is Ein Arech. Primis keser is Ein Arech. The Rebbe is speaking within the concept of bittel amenagit. Bittel of a stirit of the kosim. Mitzat seder shtashalos, there isn't a sinus magim tastir. And we're dealing with mitzad which darga, and what happens in this world is Allah reflects that mitasin. So the Rebbe is not going to the pratim of the is nishtag in welt. In this nishtag there's dargas. The mitas eating that's nishtag, the whole concept of a world that's mitzad eretz of shalmalim mishayches leishtalshlos. Mashiach shayches leishtalshlos, even though he's far beyond it and it's not tivis makim Allah beauty. Ape sudah zamasert inin is not a mitas ein arech. It's not a b'meil. It's not a bittul agam. Interesting thing, but this is not mamish the same thing. But they have the lashon chassidus that mitzad the such different simsum loy hayamakim lamidas elis. Loy hayamakim. That doesn't just mean that there was no physical. There's no place for him. The concept of a world is mufrich. So I don't remember exactly, but to be able to say this mashal, what's the pshat when you say that something, when you're being shayl something, you say that something can't be. It's like hamadargis in them. You say the muslim very bittul managid. You're canceling managid. When you say that nigut alakus doesn't exist, you say it doesn't exist. Finish. Well, what's it to speak about dargis and not? You say someone says that they saw a migdal pereh. They saw Empire State Building. It's aufgehoben and it started flying. It's Ken Resign. But for what's kind of design, you can explain. First of all, you can be mitzayir. You can be the kemitzayers of the Indian. Kemitzayers and the building is flying in the air. Kemitzayers, but it can't be. Why can't it be out? You have kashas on it. First of all, the kaivet of the they This basic questions. But that's one thing. Then someone's going to say, but that he saw, they say, how do you call it? Circle and square. He saw something which is size circle and size square. That's more mufrich than Migdal B'rei Haver. You could be mitzayir this type of tzir, have kashas, because the kavod of the Migdal is tenor zayin that the ear should chveis aresh lefan das in the karka that it should fly. Circle and square, what's the pshat in such a machzor? The etzem Indian is not shaykh. It's not that the etzem Indian is theoretically I can be mitzayir, but there's questions on it. Questions, I mean, the etzem Indian, there's a possibility, but there's factors that deny it. Then there's the etzem Inyan doesn't begin. That's etzem Inyan. Then there's someone's, but that even that there's what to talk about. square corner. Together it doesn't work. It's against Seichel. But if someone says that he saw nothing, the Chatchila, there's nothing to talk about the Chatchila. Someone says he saw nothing. The Shaykh says in garnish, but he saw nothing. What I'm trying to say is that when you say that this is mere azad darga, which the gabe that darga, there's no tfisa smag. The Nekuda the Rebbe is saying over here is the fact that we have menagdim telekus ne'lo hazeh. Vanish stamtis. That's not stamtis. Some bad people that started to be menagdim. The Eibush created the world in a way where mitzad gedra elam there could be a nigut telekus. Azay the Eibush b'shafim devat mitzad gedra elam zelu mazal asalakim. So or you deal with it like mitzad kechas prim. You fight, you deal with it. That's bir b'derech l'chama mamish, and then you're not 100% sure. Then there's bir b'derech hamelis and meir erin sof as a hecher from Welt and zvertis battle. But within that itself, so that we have to see mitzad how what's the eifon of bittul ha'elam the gabi dein sof, and this common argues. And if mitzad chitzeni sekeser where sof kol sof there is. However way we're going to be mafshited, somehow there's a mitzias of Vel, that means that the mitzias of the Menagid wasn't as batal agam. Because the fact that there's a Menagid stems from that's the Teva Elam, and if the Welt nicht geworden ist, in noch geblieben this potential for the mitzias of the Menagid. So in order for this to be the Bidla Menagid betachlis, is dafki mitzad erin sof shalamayla mishaychus leilos. Yeah, in the dargers of big vol, there's come ifan. This Rebbe Rashab says his word that the gabi big vol, the fact that it's big vol is that it's mufshet from vol. So that itself gives the Muslim vol for smoking. It means the vol is an Indian. If vol is nicht an Indian, so what's the pshat that is big vol? Masha'ik mitzad amita saying stuff, so not a concept of big vol. It's beyond that idea also. The Rebbe speaks about, not here, not in Nine Beis, but he speaks about the machlekes, the Ramak, and the Ramak lo yodav inyan atzimtzum. And the mitzvah inyan of the Einarech of the Eibush Tevel, that the Arizal was megal. That even the hechste dargin is stalshalus, and the nidrigste dargin is ba'shva mamash. So the Rebbe is mazur with this in Agais of Paschaliyah, this and this tuifan. That mitzad blik vol, you can't say that it's vasiyah b'shava mamash. Because Gvul has opposite to smoking. Varai, you're saying that it's bleak Gvul. And if it's Gvul has to smoking, mitzad the gather of Gvul, Chochm is higher than Asi. Mashayik mitzad erin stuff that the result got geret. So it's nothing to do with the concept of Gvul. So that's the amitis bittul elam metachlis. Azay dacht sich mir das Pshat. Azay das ist what the Chazer was war. No? Huh? No?
You also that's
No. What was the real Masber?
3 inyanim in things not your Rashai.
3 inyanim?
No, the 3 inyanim in Loi. I'll check with that. Some like the people.
You're worried about the tape that someone's gonna.
No. I'll send you
No, what's the real Masber? The Masber is anders.
The Melech way is that that's me nicht the Melech Tzivuim. Aber ich bin schlishi, no, that's what
okay. That what? That this is that's what he's not.
But it's in smoking.
It's the same concept. Same concept.
Yeah, I'm saying it's
okay, good. The Elam knows B'chedesh Shlishi. Okay, it's the same concept. Okay, good. No, that the Rebbe says not B'chedesh. I remember B'chedesh, but the Rebbe brings some time that it says when you get to Asad Rabbi. The Rebbe says what's the pasuk? V'yavoi b'nikras atzurim. That people are going to hide from the Gdulas Hashem. There'll be Yiras Beishis. So the Rebbe speaks. What's the dogma for Yiras Beishis? Like a person goes into a tzaddik, God of the Kodesh, and a Shemtzich. So the Rebbe speaks. Why is Alter bringing a dogma dafke from someone that goes into a tzaddik and not Yiras Melech? So Yiras Melech, since what's the pshat a Melech? A Melech is a Melech Alam. So you can't say that Am is garnished. That there's no Beishis means Yiras Beishis. The Rebbe speaks that a tzaddik is when someone goes into a tzaddik and his hergish is that legabe the kedusha of this tzaddik, there's no space for his mitzias b'chol. He has no hatzdaka to exist. Legabe the amidas amtzias v'as a herzach and the dveikus kedusha tzaddik, so he's glad to say a fair da perodom. He doesn't. I'm saying he has his shemtzach with his mitzias with his very being. He's embarrassed. He can't find himself a place. Mashiach said Melech va'am, even if the Reim was a Melech in the Hechstaif, but the Poilam was besteht that he's a Melech. He's a Melech that he has a nation. So that the Am should feel that B'nei Chusay, there's no Tzedakah for their very being, that's not Shaykh, the Melech va'am. Okay, that's an understanding. Okay, good. Yeah, kind of nutzen mit dem Hechet. Anyways, we went this way. Seder. It's the same in the Kudah. It means that there's a darga which the Gabi the Elyon, the Tachlin is Chatulun al Mitzias. That's dafka by that Shaykh is by a Yira from a Tzaddik. Mashiach by a Melech, even if the Melech is Berein Arech, Berein Mus Mina'am, but there's a Yachas in the Melech. And what's Bashtet is a Melech? That he's fearing this Am. Can't you say that the Am has no Hatzdaka for the very being? Zanazah. The Alter Rebbe's Dugma of Yiras Beishis is that you're embarrassed you're embarrassed with your Metzias. You feel that you don't find place for your being. That's because the Herzach HaDarga, which the guy with that Indian, as that certain Metzias exists. Metzias is Dvekas Talakus, davening, learning, that's Metzias. A Metzias from Glatazeh that doesn't exist to begin with. There's no such a concept. Shemt is with the Metzias. Okay, that's the good. Lamer gehen ein bisschen weiter. Oh, so here, this is what the Rebbe wants to bring out. It means in the Mamer and base is not base getached. In the Mamer and base is, so to speak, you look at the Mamer, I mean, it's, everything is much more, the Rebbe breaks everything down here. What I'm saying is, when you learn the Mamer, so there is, let's say, there's Chitzeni Sakeser, and Shlomo Melech is Atik. Atik is Ashiris. Wo hat sich Ares gebracht, that Shlomo Melech, that's what Merg beim Chinas Atik by Shlomo Melech. So the beginning of the Mamer says that there was a Shiris Muflag. Shiris Muflag just brings out that there was a major hashpah. What do you see in them an expression to Atik? Kesser's big vol, I'm saying the Eibishter to give a Shiris Muflag is that's where it's expressed the fact that Merg beim Mitzat Atik. Ersof Shalmadim Mishachas Leilamis. Or the fact that Bisamidish was a sudden Nissim. Nissim there was a Chveis, in the midbar there was man for 40 days, man Hashemayim. So the fact that there was Nissim, wo hat sich Ares gebracht, that in Zman Shleim hat Merg ben Erin Sof Shalmadim Mishachas Leilamis. So the Rebbe say, wo hat das Ares gebracht in der Efen Abirur? That's what the Rebbe is negate to say here, that the beer of Shlomo was a different type of beer, not just that the Tachan was his battle legamri, in the sense of Heder Tzvizas Makom. That it's a deeper ending than that. That's what we want to... So, Pizeh Shleise beer Bezeh Shemashma Ba Mamer, it's not clear in the Mamer there in but the Mashmos of the Mamer is, the Zeh Shlomo Hi Ish Menucha, means the fact that it was Ish Menucha, what's Pshat Ish Menucha? The fact that it was beer Shleimo Derech Melchama. Why was it bitter Shleimo Derech Melchama? Because of this in of Atik, of Ashiris. So the shaila is, if the vart was, if the whole yirid of the midbar was, is the fact that they had to, that the tachton was taking smakim to the extent that it was yirid, l'makam amenagit, levatle, for them, and was the bitter from Menucha B'derech Shleimo, that he had no, that it wasn't, that the menagit l'chatchila had no tefisas smakim to the extent of him going down. For them, darf nicht ankommen zu Atik. Zehn so Shema Meshachas L'Shtashlis. Mitzad Keser, Kfishu, even Mitzad Chitzeni is a Keser. Mitzad Ratzin, the way it is Bim Hussei, Blik Gvul is higher than Gvul. And Blik Gvul is not higher than Gvul. And Gvul is not machlish Blik Gvul. Mitzad the Blik Gvul, Kfishu Bim Kaimei, he's ain't soft. Was Artem that is a Kasha? You say someone has a Munah. The Seichel is only a problem if the Munah is mayor in a place. Not the Munah Kmei Shu Batzmi Yosef. The way a Munah is mayor in a place where their Seichel is Tevis Makim. So in that darga, even though my connection is based on Amunah, but the poil, the fact, since I'm living in a world that Seichel means is a factor, so the fact there's a kasha is going to be machlish. Mashiach, mitzad the neshama itself, before it's mere in a person where there's Seichel, it's a primis on neshama. If what's them negate that there's a kasha, well, it's not a stiritim b'chlal. So someone says a svarah, but then someone throws a stone again. It's not going to be machlish a svarah. It's not in the same, it's not a stiritim. The Rebbe says, Ava Pikain, so then, if the whole Ma'ila Shleimo Melech was, as er nicht gedacht up gehen, means that the Tachton wasn't to be him to the extent he didn't have to go down, but after Onkel was a primus hakesa for them. So that's what the Rebbe linked to, that with the Fiyah Onkel was a primus hakesa. Because Mesatachzeni is hakesa, you're not going to cut a darga with the Welt has no tfisas makom at all. But dark is the darkest, episode tfisas makom at all. If there's episode tfisas makom, so then the Menagid wasn't as bata b'tavlis, from the same cheshbon the Rebbe made before. Because Welt is the, has a tfisas makom, however dark the tfisas makom is, and beside Gedera Elam, there's an tfisas makom to Menagid. The male of the Menagid wasn't as bata b'tavlis. a piece is a beer, it's Mashal Mamer. That the fact that Shlomo is Shmunuchas, that means what's Kamesira Bashlemusa? He touches up an Ayin Beis, a Shira Shel Madam Melach Yisar. So that's a kash. Like the Rebbe, ki amitis in the Menucha means the true concept of Menucha, not you understand. If the alien is in a darga where the Tachlan is not tipping smoking at all, so he's his battle. Means literally speaking, he's his battle. You're making alumnus. The poil, if the Tachlan has some is episomitzias, so theoretically speaking, he exists. That's a very mufshitik etzir of menagid. If you say you have an alien in which someone says a grace melech and a few kids don't like him, so it's not going to be tipping smoking. But the poil, do kids exist? Yes, kids exist. And the pile, they don't agree with you. Or something like that. But Mela, that's Savarta Tismak. But they're saying, but Amit is in the Menucha. The true concept of Menucha. The Shalom Muksha Menagid is battle betachlis. Bechdesha Menagid is battle betachlis. But I'm sure it's in an Ashiris, in itself, Shalamayla Mishaychas Leilams. Look at their attaches up. It says the Eira Shayach Leilams. Eira Shayach Kelagam Eira Seviv Keser. Kivan She'er Zen, Nesan Makam Leilams means Savkas up inside this air. There is such a concept of a being. He's not shalal betachlis. Elam lashon helav. So means, and what's the gather of Elam? Elam is a place where it's at the gather of Elam. Elokus is nicht meir. That's the gather of Welt. Helam v'hester. So Abe said, "Afil eira seiv, which is nesamakom le'elam is hapitul dam ragna sheba Elam adikil er zeini bitul betachlis. V'zes shlema yish menucha b'shalim. Shalim hayi b'yamav, but sheb'yamav is amshavas b'nes atik ashiris. It says this in the Kudah many times. If you look at it a little bit technical, but. This Indian, there is an Isness Makim Tevelt in the most darkest Kaif. See, a word in Shayla is still Talakus Betachlis. Yeah, let's see the Hora 56. Shleima, das auch ein Chiluk, wenn Menucha l'Shalom. Menuchi she'ein le'milchamas, gam le'a milchamet alich le'makam ha'ev. אבל זה שיש מנגד בהלם, שאין אליכם, אין זה היפך השלום. מה שכן שלום הוא שאין מנגד, גם לא מנגד בהלם. The simple meaning of the words, menucha means that the alien, he has nothing to worry about, so to speak. He's calm. Shalom is that there's no, that is more madgish, not the fact that the alien is b'menucha. That there is no menagid. There's peace.
Is it more like menagid on the side?
No, they're saying the pano. They're saying the pashta uptouch the word.
So you pashta uptouch the word shalom, peace.
But peace means that the menagid also mitzad his masculine. Peace means that there's no. Peace is the massive that there's no menagid. Vashek menucha is not the fact that there's no menagid. That he has nothing to worry about. So you're saying a dargin shalom. They're not only the menagid. Saying you pashta shalom is not as good as ox. You say two people were fighting and then they decided not to fight. What's wrong with that shalom? They're not fighting. What's wrong with that? So there's no Welt is in spot government elikus. There's only elikus. What's the mitzvah of Welt? Akeli elikus. What's the problem with that? Then there is that the menagid is at his. That's already a different target. That not only the menagid is not menagid, but he is meisif in the Indian. That's not the tight shalom. That's not the push the tight shalom. I don't mean keli. I mean that in such that home mitzvah Welt is eichetim to Torah mitzvahs mitzvah zman shleim. What's the Malchus? The Pshitus was that it's Malchus Yisrael. What's you say you have a musig, you have a chves. In many you can have you have gewiss the kamei fanim in them, but if you have there is I'm saying the same thing. You say something's the Pshitus. What's the dogma of them? As Bizman Shtei Melech but I mentioned this last time. They had a Moleket Zeiten when there was Malachim. There was Zars was. So today we look at what we don't know. Why should this guy be the Führer von Ali? So there was no concept of democracy yet. There was no concept that every Yachid in the world you have a say because you were born. You have a say. You have to be from the royal people. It didn't enter. This svara didn't exist yet. The reality is that there's a melech. Saying as much as melech, it wasn't the pshat that there was a tzad azay. The mitzvah ha'elam is after mitzvahs. There's Malchus Yisrael. The world is run by Malchus Yisrael, and the world is created to do mitzvahs. There's no yichatim otherwise. This is what the mitzvah is. It's a mitzvah befanach. That's since battle govern the whole gather of Elam Eter Helam Behester. Since given. That's Shalom. There's another Musik of Shalom. They use the tchon of the Menagid for that's not Chavar. That's not the. In the next Mamer, the Rebbe is more these two pratim. The Bittul Hanigut, and then that there's a Musik of the Tachton being named, not only being Nizbatal, but being named. The Rebbe speaks two darkness in it. In Zman Shleima. You'll see next time. Lo V'Inyan Eretz Chanukah. Pizi Yom Tek Mashe Kosev Hu Yiyeh Ish Menucha V'Harkach Meisiv Shleima Yiyeh Shmei V'Shalom B'Shakat Etan Yisrael B'Yom. It's interesting. According to the Zol Bir, what's Sheket? Sheket L'Chur is sein I'm saying Shleima is that there's no not only there's no menaged as Tevis Mokim, there's only his kaf. Okay. Gut. Wir sind weiter. Was schon gelernt ist, ja? This is the Nekudas Inyan. You did Alf, I'm saying you Baker Yidalef, but Lamazan. Everything's very betamtis. You could miss the point sometimes. Good. Mamshu ba Mamer, the Rebbe sagt das. Inyan Aches Shulamai Legam Yashiro, as we brought before, that even that the Pasha, the Pasha, the one that brings from the Rambam, there's Tzedakah and Chesed. Tzedakah is Mashpia Kfi Masheroi. Chesed is a flogus at it, which that's Ashirus. But then he brings in the Gemara that Kamilas Chasadim is also Lashir. So it's Mamshich and Mamer that Inyan Aches Shulamai Legam Yashiro Shalachin Kamilas Chasadim Yigam Lashirim. That's the Gidid Lasid Laveshu. Nali Yes Yigam Gidid Shavim Mishlem. Why? He brings Lashin Lashna Kabbalah. And the Rebbe is going to speak Kama Inyanim in what the Rebbe Rashab brings in the Kabbalah part. To Arez bringing the Chiddush of Lasid Lavi. It's not Bez Getash, no matter of Ein Bez. Kama v'Kama Pratim. We'll see. So first of all, Shachar b'Mishlei Meis M'chinas Atik, which is net like v'Nivdol from Welt. Eren Sof Shilamad M'Shachas Levelt. L'Os Lavi Tiyam Shachar M'chinas Pnimius Atik. And they're like, so what's the Pshat Pnimius Atik? Hainu Ein Sof Sheberat Lo. Sho Iker Inyan Atik. This is the steht dort in the Mamer. Pnimius, it doesn't stand say Pnimius Atik. It means Ein Sof Sheberat Lo. Sho Iker Inyan Atik. The Rebbe already said before that the Rebbe Rashab brings that Moshe Chasadim is Bein Lanim, Bein Lashirim. He says that Chesed is Lamal in Madrigas Asher. Why say Nabi is Lamal in Madrigas Asher? Because if it's Tamazeh Noch Hecher, then it's not. Then it's all within the context of Ashiris, within the Darga of Ashiris. Moshe Chasadim Bein Lashirim hates that within the most ideal Asher, even the Gabehim is Shaykh Chesed. It means Chesed is higher than the whole Darga of Ashiris. The house of Shaykh if it's just higher, but it has some erech to the ashpa, the asher had before, so then it's an isafan, it's ashiras. And if he didn't have it, it's episodim gefelt. So he's not amitas in asher. So it means the chesed is azam esar darga, which is a different sug legamri than the bchina of atik. That's what the Chari is bringing. So that's what the Rebbe teaches is very eizgetaish before in the Mamer. So behesim lezeh, these l'shen the Rebbe Rashab says the Rebbe is going to teach how these the Rebbe Rashab is trying to bring out how the idea of previous atik is not stam noche heveredar. It's a sug acher legam. That's the Rebbe's lotion before. Let's get mitzvah. Let's get Rebbe Lo hoyer. Zeh steht hayatika ishtakach betlas reish. As I state in Zeh, it means every parts of, even the parts of Achi Elyon, there is Gimel Reishin and Zayin Tachtenis. Al derech, like I say, when you get the person that there's Meichin Amidus, that means in Pashas Devar, without not to be no Kabbalah, but just we shouldn't feel like we're just reading Chinese. But Meichin is the Mahus Hadavar Kfishu La'atzmei. You have the Mahus of the Indian in itself, and then you have what's its Yachas to the Metzias Shechutzimeh. It's Meichin Amidus. Meichin really represents the Mahus Ha'adam Kfishu La'atzmei. That's even they say Pashas Musik of Meichin, the way a person views things, his point of view. That's what's the mentality of this person in himself, and then what's his attitude towards other people, towards other things. Is he nice? Is he negative? Meichin is not about if he's nice to other people or he's gevordik. That's his yachas. Meichin is in himself what type of how he's typed in him, not the pale mamish is yachas to zulas. So there is in Sfira Shamal, you have the Muhus HaSfira itself, and you have its hashpa to the Sfira Shalamati Iman, or its Yachas to the Metzias Shalamati Iman. Okay, it's easy. But he says there in Beis, he says in Zohar that Hayatika is stakach betlaceration. Means wo hört sich damit is in of Atik in the laceration of Atik. Okay, we'll see. Pirush Arachav, the Rachav Taish Tazeh. Iker Atika hu Ein Sof. Means amitis in of Atik is the Ein Sof, which in other words means that it's Ein Sof. And for was sagt in Hayatika stakach betlaceration, weil Shem is al Musse begimoration nikroim gam gemoration b'Shem Atik. So what do we have from according to this Rachav? That Atik is Ein Sof. Since Ein Sof, where does he find himself? Where does he hide himself, so to speak? In the Gemoration. Therefore, the Gemoration are called Atik. So the true musik of Atik is Ein Sof. Not that there's a tzir of a sphere of Atik, and Ein Sof is Atik. We'll see later. For was während die Gemoration während angerufen Atik, because in Zege findet sich der Ein Sof. For Pizze, Iker Atiko Ein Sof shebechol Gemoration. Perfect as Akash. That the Lashon Ein Beis is that, look at the Lashon Ein Beis. I'm sure I'm going to speak Atik. Ein Sof sheberadlo. It doesn't say Ein Sof shebeatik b'chol. Ein Sof shebereisha de lo es yad. And then he says Shu Iker in Atik. B'chol is nicht das. According to the Rachav, Iker in Atik is b'chol Ein Sof. You have so to speak the parts of, I don't know, not understand what this means. You have the parts of Keser, and then you have the Ein Sof which is in the parts of. It says Iker in the Atik is Ein Sof. But in Rachav state that Ein Sof is why is Atik Gimoration called Atik? Because Ein Sof is Misalim in the Gimoration of Atik. The street artists is I don't know what the names are. The Rebbe Rashab says that Iker in the Atik is Ein Sof which is in Radlo. What's Gulim with them? Ein Sof Shebed Radlo Davke. If he wants to bring out that the Iker in Atik is not another darg in Keser, but the Musik of Ein Sof Hanimtze Ben Etzal, he wants to bring out the Retzach Nish Noch Darge in Sfiris. Or in Keser. There's the Nitzutz Boide, or the Matzel, which is Bein HaNetzal, the Ein Sof. Good, so that's Ein Sof Shnim Tzul Chol HaGemoresh. Where is the Neregash, let's say, the parts of Atik, that's the Keser, the parts of Keser, that's in Zayin Tachtoimus. The Ein Sof Sheberadlo, the Ein Sof Shebeatik, that's Meir in all Gemoresh. So why is he Madgish Ein Sof Shnim Sheberadlo? And he says that's the Iker in Atik.
And not one of the Gemoration?
Huh?
And not one of the Gemoration?
But so why is he madgish that? If you want to bring out, if the Pashas wants to bring out, it's not stam as a Atik, the Ein Sof Shnim Shebeatik. Amitis in Atik. So that the Rachav says that there's going on all Gemoration. Why is he madgish daf Kedesh Lo Esyad? That's it in the Rebbe. So everyone wants to bring out like this. Aber Mamer zemavar sheikri in the Atik Ein Sof Sheberadlo. Point the Rebbe wants to bring out is that the Rebbe Rashab is being meramis here that L'asad Lavi is not another darge in not another darge in the realm of Giluim. It's Atzmas. See that it's an Atzmas that got the Giluim is a different sub legamri. The Rebbe Rashab wants to kvesh that the uft of L'asad Lavi is nicht noch a hechere darge. A mitis in Ein Sof. Mitzad the his galus of Elokus in the realm of Gilui, Shlomo Melech was the Shleimus in a Gilui. Chinas Hashiris. Uft L'asad nicht a hechere darge from Gilui. Not a higher darge in Eir. Atzmas get me. That's what that is bringing. And previous adikus mered da is the etzim v'lukus. Atzmus say muhusay. But it doesn't say it in Ein Beis atzmus, just like that. I'm saying just like this. So this is Kilo Akasha. Mamer zemavar shikar ayna datik wa in sosh radlo. So v'yish levar zalpi ma shekos ba Mamer b'hem shechein in noch a shtikel from the Rachav dort. The Rachav says when he says that Ein Sof is misaldim before he brings. Hashem is al Musi ba Gimoration. So all the Gimoration are called that. The Navzakter dort and the Lashon of the Rachav is that Ein Sof is nimtza umisalim umisgala b'Gimoration. That's the Lashon of the Rachav. So Azay Valtamir gesagt that he uses three Lashonis to bring out the presence of Ein Sof in the Gimoration is the Atik. Three Lashonis nimtza misalim umisgala. I've then later to the Mamer Ein Beis Gimel Lashonis nimtza umisalim umisgala im k'moi Gimel Inyanim the Ato Hu V'Avai. It says Ato Hu Avai Levatecha. Chassidus state that Ato Hu V'Avai are three dargas. So he says in Ein Beis that nimtza u'k'moi Ato, which is Atzmos. That's the Atzmos Hamoyer. Misalim umisgala is Hu V'Avai, which is Beis Madreges Be'er. So you have Etzem Ha'er, which is Hu, and you have Havaya, which is the Er, Kfish, the Gili Er. And what's Ato? Ato is the Etzem. Hamoyer U'Bizgas, that's Ato. As I state. So then, when the Rachav says Nimtza, it's going on the darg of Ata, which is Atzmus. And what does that have to do with the word Nimtza? How is the word Nimtza, why is Ata, which is Atzmus, Merumes in the word Nimtza? We understand why Mis'alam Mesgal has to do with Mis'alam is an Inyan which in Yana is to be Besamos. In Yana is that is beyond Sir, beyond Fisa, beyond Gil. That's Etzema Etzema was Bastate, the flow of this that is beyond this Galas. It's higher than any form of Tzir. And Misgal is the which is Sheikhs the Gil. But how does the word Nimtza, how is that, wie weiß das auf Etzem? So there brings here, Nimtza, where is it? Pirish Nimtza, who shu Nimtza kamei shu ba'atzmusei. Say that about später, I just want to finish the true musig of Nimtza, which Nimtza means that he's Nimtza kamei shu ba'atzmusei. That you only have an Atzmus. Every other Inyan, there's the Inyan Muhosei, and there's the way he's Nirgash in a Makim. There's the way he's Nimtza, the way he's Mispashit, the way he's Miskabel, let's say. You see, the way you understand the Pashtus. A person knows someone else, or someone tells you a Svara. The way you understand the Svara is not the way the Svara is, the way the Svara is understood by Reuven, or the way the Svara itself is. Because there's the way your Kalim is taking it. It's never going to be the Inyan Kamesha Hu Batz Musa. There's the way you're being Tefis. In Eir is a certain Inyan. So there's the way the Inyan is b'mchusa Eir, and there's the way it's Nirgash, the way it's Nimtza, the way it's experienced, so to speak. And that's not going to be Kamesha Hu Batz Musa. Because it's Nirgash by the Mekabel, not the way it is Batz Musa. Dafken Atzmus Shaykh to say that he's Nimtza, he's Nimtza Kameshu Batz Musa. Means that he's Nirgash, the Torah says, Amor Hu Bez Galas, that Gam Noshim Ba'am Yoretz. So the Kameshu Batz Musa, that's the way it's Gal. Okay, let's first finish the point that he wants to bring out here. Then we'll, that's nicht negeh, der Teich from the Werte. He wants to bring out the, that's what he wants to bring out. According to this word, means it's too, in the Mamer, it's nicht, forbid is nicht these two Sachen. First he says that the Osad Love is Primis Atik, which is Ein Sof Shebelat La. And a few lines later he brings Vashtet in the Rachav, Nimtzu Mis'al Misgal, and he says Yishlema, the Nimtzu Mis'al Misgal is connected Atu Uvavai. The Rebbe is saying it's connected, these two things. What he brings later, the Rachav, the Nimtzu Mis'al Misgal is corresponds to Atu Uvavai. Dav Villar is bringing that Ein Sof Shenimtzu Berat La is Atzmus. Radla is Nimtza, and Nimtza is the Etzem. Let's see. But Pizeish, the Bamash Kadbam Shikrin in the Ataku in Sof Radla, does Villar is bringing. What's Villar is bringing? That Iker in the Atik is in Sof, and Iker in the Atik is in Sof, which is in Radla, which is the Atik, not the Huf Havai. The Etzem. Understand the? That's Primis Atik is the Iker in the Atik is the Atzmas of Insof. The Far Zakta Insof Shabbat Lo. Not just another Darga, which that corresponds to Ata, within the Huva Avai, which is going on Atzmas. The Inyan Nimtza, She Insof Nimtza Berat Lo, Who Shu Nimtza Berat Lo, K'mei Shu Batzmus. It's not that the way the Insof is in Adlo, Apes have also get the Inyan from Gilui, or Inyan of Eir. So his Nimtza, not the way he is Batzmus. You say Ein Sof Etzem Eir is Nimtza is Misalim in the Pchinas Reisha. It's nicht der Ein Sof Kamei Shu Batz Musa. Mash Ego when you say Ein Sof Shnimtza B'Rad La, since Ein Sof and relates it's Ata and it's Nimtza. Nimtza is that Mitzad Etzem, so he's Nimtza Kamei Shu Batz Musa. There's no shini between the way the Etzem is b'Mehusay and the way he's Nimtza B'Rad La. So Kum Tachais. Yishlevar zish v'yishlema haya ashiras amitis, af shlo yaz yigilui d'lasid, ki achidish yilasid v'yishaz yigilui ha'etzim shel amanim b'chinas ha'gilui. V'yidin ha'giluim, ha'yivim yishlema v'yishlema. That's the Rebbe saying. We want to explain how lasid that, what I want to bring out. That even though lasid is going to be a higher air, but it's not a chisarin, Shlem Melech wasn't lacking anything. Because within the realm of Giluyim, within the realm of the Milas and the Aflois and the Shlemas of a Lakus that has any shaykhis to any concept, any Inyan, that flows from Milas, that was B'Shlemus B'Meshleim. La'aslev is not another Milah. It's not another Inyan. Not a deeper Afloy in the Lakus. It's a totally different Inyan. The Etzem, which is beyond the whole category of Milas V'Aflois. The Atzmis of the Lakus beyond any Tfisa at all. The Rebbe is going to say later a few aces. Atzmis is not the Milas and the Yiluyim of a Lakus. That's Mizgal in the Inyan of Giluyim. It's the Abish's Ein Seif and his grandness, his greatness. There's da etzema, spashas, gile, and das is gal geworden beschlemus, the gdula velikus, the reichkeit of velikus. Reichkeit, I'm saying in Mohus. The milus va'flois, that was his gal beschlemus, b'mishleim. Lo'asad lavi is the etzem, beyond milus and shlemus. Which is later a paresa being them. You heard the meaning. That says the Mashal and Tanya. I'm just saying this also connects to the Nimtzak Meshu Bas Musa that Shem Shemaim that Tzimtzum was only in Eir, not in Meir. But Adarabah Hamoyru Bez Gavus. What's the Hamoyru Bez Gavus? You say the Gam Noshim Am Yoretz. You say usually there's a certain concept that everybody knows about. So why does everybody know about it? Because it relates to everybody. So you have Chvei Seides HaTorah Darten that those that understand the Kabbalah know about it. You have certain basic things. Ways that I don't know exactly what's the basic knowledge, information that everybody knows. Why does everybody know about it? Because it's on their level. On their level, so you know about it. See, Atzvus is the Gidel. See, the fact that the world has a creator, that's a simple Muslim. The world has a creator. The concept of a creator. So that the concept of a creator, so that is everybody knows about it. It's a simple Muslim. It's be'erech for everybody to have a knowledge in this type of thing. The fact that you see that Hamoru is Galas, that the Etzem is even Noshim Hamoru know about the Etzem, it's not the Pshat that it's a concept of a Lakos that relates to the Noshim Hamoru, it's his Mayach. They know him the way he is Batzmiusa. Tazevi the Etzem is Emma Lincoln. When you say that someone knows something because his Mayach is has such a concept in his head, he's typhus this concept. That means that he takes the concept the way he understands it. But Etzem, you don't say the Noshim HaMaris know about it according to their Musagim. The Etzem Kamei Shehu, they know. Not according to their Musagim. If someone knows, exactly, everybody knows, let's say that in order to drive a car, you need gas. I don't know exactly. But everybody, according to their Musagim, of what gas is and what the car is, everybody knows it's a simple thing, but they know it according to their Musagim. Mashiach and Amazach who is Galas, Yad the Einervis. Yad the Einervis done, there's an Abish there which you daven to him and you beg him, whatever you know. But the musig, what they know, is not behesen to their asagis. It's the etzim k'mei shehu batzmus. The Rebbe says when you ask a Posh the issue, what's the pshat, what's this Eivisher they're davening to? It doesn't have any touch, this idea. They daven in Simitzin. There's a true someone that they daven for, and he created the world and he's everything. What is this someone? There's someone bashtetish nagevisser touch. Not that he's great, and not that he's bligvol. No touch at all. Says, that's the mother. That's the Eivisher himself. That someone that they have, that what they have in their head, that's the mord who is Galas. And the second, no touch. The Eivisher himself is beyond any touch. So how does that make sense? A concept without any touch. It doesn't have a touch. They never thought it's a real davening to an Eivisher. What is this Eivisher? Is he great? Is he small? Is he big? Is he yellow? Is he blue? No touch. Not no touch because he's pshittis, beyond touch. There's an Eivisher. Without any touch. That's etzem nimtzek meishu batzmius. And that's not the Atzvas Bashtetish that he's Tachlis HaIbli, Tachlis HaFlo, Tachlis HaBligbo. There's him himself and that's it. Beyond the concept of Ili Vaflo. We'll see how the Rebbe touches it up over here in the Musik of Biru. Same way the Rebbe spoke till now. That the Uftu, when he get to Shlomo, in what was expressed, the Atik of Shlomo, in the Eifen HaBirur, out there the Rebbe is going to explain the fact that the Lost is going to be Gilei Atzmos, how it's expressed in the Eifen HaBirur, which is going to be Lost. That's what the Rebbe explains in Sifyud Aleph. You hear what I'm saying? Same way the Rebbe spoke till now. Mishkan was Chitzenis, I guess. Arach. And Shtei Melech was Atik. It doesn't just say in Esis Kabbalah Atik or say in Esis Chassidus Atik is Ein Sof. The Rebbe touches the race how it's expressed in the Eifen, the way there was the Bittul HaManagid. The Bittul of the Hel and the Hester HaElam. Was it an Eifen of Medaf Tvisas Makim? There's no Tvisas Makim. So Al Derech said there was going to be a the fact that will be Gilei Atzmos, not just in Esis Kabbalah, in Sof Shabbat Lo. How it is expressed in the Eifen of Bir and Itzutis Lo. And the Rebbe said, and that's the Ascholis Chassidus. That's getting done. But Sifyud Aleph and the Hemshech is very important. This is the heart of the punchline of the Inyan. Your Aleph and your base. Someone go learn. This is important. That was good.